Let me say something that might sting a little. It's honest. People don't change because they want to. They change because they have to. You don't change when something is a should, and you change when it becomes a must. And if you're stuck right now, if you've been saying, I should for years, it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're broken. It's because you don't have leverage. The truth about should, what it really means, I should work out. I should leave this job. I should stop doing this. I should start doing that. A should is polite. A should is optional. A should negotiates. And the nervous system hears should as, we'll deal with this later. However, later never comes. Change happens when pain outweighs comfort. The rule is simple, brutal, and true. Human beings only change when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change. Human beings only change when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change. We are wired to avoid pain. We will tolerate enormous discomfort as long as it's familiar. That's why people stay in relationships that drain them, in jobs that slowly kill their spirit, in habits they know are destructive, because pain is predictable. Change introduces uncertainty, and uncertainty scares the nervous system more than suffering, more than the suffering it already understands. This is where leverage comes in. Leverage is not motivation. Leverage is truth applied with consequence. Leverage is when you stop asking, how do I change? And you start asking, what happens if I don't? Most people never sit with that question long enough. They skate past it. They distract themselves. They numb it. But leverage is built when you force yourself to look. Here's an exercise to build real leverage. Do this honestly. I want you to pause the video and actually do this. Ask yourself, if I don't change this, what does my life look like in 1 year? Be specific, write it down. Then ask, what does it look like in 3 years, 5 years? What happens to my health? What happens to my energy, my relationships, my finances, my self-respect? And here's the key question. Who else pays the price if I don't change? Your kids, your partner, your future self. The people who need what you could become. This isn't guilt. This is clarity. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. This is why it works. It's NLP and neuroscience. Your brain does not move towards pleasure nearly as powerfully as it moves away from pain. That's not pessimism, that's biology. When consequences become emotionally real, your nervous system says, we cannot stay here. And suddenly, you don't need motivation. You don't need willpower. You don't need discipline, because the decision is no longer optional. And I say, change before the pressure, before it's too late. Put the pressure on yourself by asking these questions. So pause and go back to those questions and answer them honestly. Get the leverage on yourself. And this is shifting from external pressure to internal authority. You don't wait for the wake up call, a diagnosis, a breakup, a financial collapse. That's all external leverage. However, mastery is when you generate internal leverage. You say, I am not waiting for life to break me into change. I choose to change now on my terms. That's power. On the other side of leverage, the pull forward. Leverage isn't only about pain, it's also about what becomes possible. Ask this: who do I become if I change? How do I feel in my body? How do I show up in rooms? How do I breathe? How do I move through life? And this is important. Don't make the future vague, make it sensory. See it, feel it, live inside it. And pause, go back, answer these questions. Your nervous system doesn't respond to ideas, it responds to images and emotion. The moment your should becomes a must, change becomes inevitable when you say, I will not live this way anymore. Not angrily, not dramatically, but decidedly. A calm, grounded decision. Here's the truth. You already know what you need to do. You don't need more information. You need leverage strong enough that not changing is no longer an option. Take a breath. Ask yourself honestly, what am I tolerating that is quietly costing me my life? And then ask, what would happen if I decided this is no longer acceptable? That's where should dies. That's where must is born. Not from hype, not from pressure, but from clarity and self-respect. Change isn't about becoming someone new. It's about refusing to abandon who you're meant to be. So this is the end of the video. Take 60 seconds and ask, what am I tolerating that is quietly costing me my life? Let the answer be honest. That's where leverage begins. Go in love and peace with wisdom and understanding. Enjoy this day. And stop shooting on yourself. It's not becoming.